I want to make sure we get the, okay, we're recording. So what I want to do is go ahead and flip you over to my screen. There we go. Can you guys see that? Nod some heads just so I, okay. So I've been playing around with this today. I swear I've been on the computer all day long trying to understand and figure out some of this. And there's really, when we look at the Stampin' Up! Store, there's a couple basics to understand before we dive in. Number one, this is what we're going to call the customer-facing store. This is what our customers see. When you log in as a demonstrator to the demonstrator site, that hasn't changed. The way you order, the way you place demonstrator, customer, workshop, any of that, none of that has changed, other than if you didn't try to log in today, you might have a problem logging in, because it used to be we just went to stampinup.com, and depending on how your computer saved things or whatever, like on my computer, it just brought me up to the demonstrator site and I could log in. Now it's actually my.stampinup.com is what takes you to the demonstrator part of it. So mystampinup.com should take you to the login area. Just kind of a minor thing. I kind of fumbled around to get there. There is, however, another way to go there, which I guess this way might have always been there, but I never used it. Because if we just go to stampinup.com, which is kind of normal for us, you're going to come here to the store, and let's see, I got to get signed out. Okay, so now it looks like I've come to stampinup.com. My name's not up at the top anyplace. It still says find a demonstrator, sign in, or create an account. So if you end up on this page and you want to be a demonstrator and sign into the demonstrator part, if you click sign in, and here you'll see it's all about customer sign in, but right down here it says sign in to the demonstrator website. So this is another way for you to get to, they call it the demonstrator portal, the backside for us. Okay, so, but that's not what we're going to talk about right now. We're going to talk about this one. Brand new, fresh look. This has been so long overdue. It's been in the works for a couple of years. That old site was such a dinosaur. If you yourself tried using it or had customers or whatever, it was not very mobile friendly. People had issues with iPads and phones, and there's just so much good about the site. And I am super proud of Stampin' Up! There's a few glitches yet, but it pretty much went off like a superstar this morning, because I was kind of anticipating a lot of problems. So let's talk, there's kind of two groups of you. Some of you have what's called the DBWS, and some of you don't. DBWS, Demonstrator Business Website, is the personalized site that we as demonstrators can have. It does cost $12.95 a month to have it. You can get 2 months free. But anyway, if you are a hobby demonstrator, or you have a customer or two, and you're not really looking to get new customers, okay, personally, and I don't know, Stampin' Up! Might not like that I tell you this, I don't see a reason to have the DBWS, okay, unless if you do want to get some customers, and you're going to see some benefits as we go through this. If you want to get some brand new customers, have people find you or whatever, the only way to do that is to have the DBWS. Okay, so you need to decide for yourself, do you want to get some customers randomly, or do you just have maybe a couple of friends or customers and you're content with that, but they can still go use stampinup.com without you having a DBWS, okay? Because there's some confusion there. So you don't have to have it. And we're just going to call them customers, whether it's your sister, your friend, or whoever. But if you ever want a customer to order from you, without the DBWS. They can still do it here, but there's a catch. And we've kind of talked about this before. You have to, in your demonstration, and if I need to, I'll go to, someone got unmuted. Okay, there you go. Make sure you're always muted. I will come back to it later to show you a different screen if I need to, if you guys want me to. But in your demonstrator profile, when we've talked about this before, you need to make sure you've accepted the referral policy. There's two things you have to click on. Referral policy, you have to accept that, and demonstrator locator, I believe it's called. So that is for those of you, and we're gonna call you hobby demonstrators, that are just gonna have a friend that wants to come order from you, okay? You need to do that, because if you don't do that, they cannot go to StampiNUp.com and find you, and you get credit for the order. So we're gonna assume now you have done that, and again, you're a hobby demonstrator, you're just buying for yourself, and your friend that lives across the country says, hey, I wanna place an order. I wanna order online. You say, awesome, go to StampiNUp.com. This is where they're going to come. It's gonna look like that. They can go up here, up on the left, and it says, find a demonstrator. When we click on that, they have two options. Find a demonstrator by name, or find a demonstrator near me. So if this is your sister Sally that lives across the country that's gonna place an order and give you credit, she would know your name. So all they'd have to do is click on find a demonstrator, and they would type in your name. And once they click on it, and okay, this is probably okay. You hit search, and there comes up my name. They can click on that, and now they're shopping with you. Okay, don't need the DBWS, don't need anything. You just have to have clicked on those two agreement things. So that's for those of you that don't have a DBWS. So why should you have a DBWS? Again, if you are somebody that wants to build this as a business, wants to get some new random customers, if someone goes to StampiNUp.com, they don't have a demonstrator at all, and oh, I'm gonna shop. They could click on find a demonstrator, and if they click on this find a demonstrator near me, and you put in your zip code, it's now going to bring up, I think it starts with 5, and you can even do more. You can search, and here's a list of demonstrators that are close to me. Now remember, these are demonstrators that do have a DBWS. If you do not have the DBWS, you will not show up here. Okay? I'm going to pause for a second. Jamie, do we have any questions?
No, not yet. I'm just sending the Zoom link to people.
Oh, okay. So
I'm posting it in the Klompen Stampers page if anyone is getting any notice.
Okay. So that's one reason to have a DBWS or not have it. But just remember, if you don't have it, you can still have someone come here and shop with you. The other reason to have a DBWS is when somebody shops. So let's say Susie Smith, I wonder if we can do kind of a fake account here. So far they've gone to StampiNUp.com and they want to just shop. So we're going to click on shop products, and we're just going to go to bundles. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time like showing you how to find things on here, because you can just play with that part of it. But let's say I'm just this random person and I'm shopping at StampiNUp.com. I'm going to add this to my cart. And if I go to view my cart, okay, so far I'm still not connected to any demonstrator. I'm just a random shopper. Okay, I'm done shopping. I want to check out. So I go to the checkout screen, and I have a couple of options here. I can check out completely as a guest. I don't have to create an account. I can just check out. Or I can sign in if I already have an account, or I can create an account. So actually I have 3 choices here. So if I don't have a demonstrator, okay, let me see if it's gonna let me, I wanna see if I can get far enough to show you. So I don't have a demonstrator. I am going to create an account. Jamie, we'll use you. So I would put in my name, my email, and a password. What do you want your password to be, James? I can't type here. That right. And I'm going to create an account. So now I've created an account and I'm going to check out. Remember, I'm this random person. I don't have a demonstrator. When I get to the checkout point here, I would put in all my shipping shipping address, click continue, go down to shipping method, payment method. And then my last option is to select a demonstrator. So again, I'm a total random shopper. I'm placing an order. I get to check out and it's going to ask me if I want to select a demonstrator. Again, I'll get that same screen that says, yes, my demonstrator is so-and-so, or find me one close. Or I can say, I don't want to select one. Stampin' Up at that point is going to select one for me. So this is brand new. Every single order that goes through the online store will be attached to a demonstrator. And they are going, when they randomly pick somebody, it's going to be someone that has a DBWS and who's closest in location to where this customer is shopping from. So that's the second opportunity for you to pick up unknown customers. If you're the closest demonstrator with a DBWS, you're going to get credit for this order. Okay. Pause. James, how we doing?
We've got a couple. Accept the referral policy and what else?
Referral policy and demonstrator locator, I believe. There's 2 things. When you get to that screen, they both pop up together and you have to accept both of them. You sign in as a demonstrator into the demonstrator website. Up by your name, there's a little drop down. Click on the drop down and then you get a whole bunch of things to pick from, and I believe it says referral policy. And then there's 2 things to accept.
Okay. And then how are names listed in demo near me?
I don't know for sure. My guess is
It's kind of random.
my guess is it's locality. I do know it has nothing. Let's see, find a demonstrator. Well, find a demonstrator near me. All I'm putting in is my zip code. So yeah, I really don't know. I mean, I'm popping up second on the list there. I know it might be random. I know it does not have
Yes.
anything to do with amount of sales or how long you've been a demonstrator or any of that. So.
And then can we opt in and out of DBWS, or does that cause a problem?
It shouldn't. Like I said, it's $12.95 a month. You can cancel it at any time. So I'm sure you can cancel it and then start it up again. I don't know why that would be an issue. So.
And then, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Is that the only qualification, whoever is geographically closest?
For, if they get to the point and Stampin' Up's gonna automatically assign a
Yeah.
demonstrator, my understanding is the closest geographically, and again, you have to have a DBWS. So,
How's the closest demonstrator determined? I'm assuming we already covered that. I guess if anyone has any additional questions, it looks like it's going to be randomized.
yeah. Yeah, I think when the customer has their choice and they get the list, that's random. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But
And then how can I find out if I had already done that or not?
If you've already accepted those agreements, when you go in to that little box to accept them, there's like 2 little boxes to check on. And I think they say decline if you've accepted it, because that means you're clicking to decline. It seems kind of backwards. The other thing you can do is go to stampinup.com and try to search yourself. Put your own name in. If your name does not come up, if you can't find yourself by your name, that means you haven't accepted that. Because accepting those things is basically giving Stampin' Up your permission for them to share your name and your information. So I always tell people, if you think you've done it, go check. I mean, the only way to really know that it's working right. And if it's not working right and you can't find you and you think you've done it, call demonstrator support. No.
That's it for now.
Okay, so we've kind of covered it from the perspective of if you don't have a DBWS, you know, or if you do and you're not, you know, if you are in there and people are just finding you. Well, what about if you have a DBWS and you have customers already, you want them to just go directly to your store. So we're going to sign Jamie out here. So when I have a customer, I want them to come here directly to me. So there is a link. So when I come up here to stampinup.com, and you can see up at the top here, it's www.stampinup.com. If I add onto this, so right after the .com, I type in a question mark and then demo ID equals, and then I put my number here. My number is 1940. So I change that link to say www.stampinup.com, question mark, demo ID equals XXXXX, whatever yours is. That, and then I can highlight that and copy it. So now that link, if I give that link to a customer and they use that, it should take me directly to my store. So you can see now it's saying shop with Jackie Ballhaus. Where over here at stampinup.com, it's saying find a demonstrator. So though, and again, you have to have a DBWS to do this. If you don't have the DBWS, that question mark demo ID equals 1940, it's not going to take you anywhere. But so if you have the DBWS, that's how you can create a link. And so when you have a customer that says, oh, I want to order from you, that's the link you give them versus just stampinup.com. And then it's automatically connected in here to you. Questions?
Let's see. Kathy said she went to the demonstrator website and you can select down triangle referral policy agreement and click there.
Referral policy agreement.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds right.
And then Jody said, should it be, oh gosh.
I just want to make sure what you just said was demo ID equals. And this morning you had said DBWS demo ID.
I know. You know, after I talked with you, Jody, because what I sent you was what Chad gave us yesterday.
Right. That's why it's all confusing.
I know. And so then I saw someplace else, and what I just gave now, I think is what you sent me this morning. And that's what's working.
Okay.
So
what you just said is what we're going with.
That's what seems to be working.
All right.
So question mark demo ID equals.
All right. Thanks.
So, but yeah, I know, because that's what you had. And I said, no, it's not that. But now I'm back. I think this is it. It seems to work. It just pulled up my store when I did it. So now once you have a customer that's in here shopping with you, they don't have to go through that find a demonstrator and all of that, because it's already connecting it to them or to you. So they're going to have to either create a customer or create an account, or if they already have an account, they can just sign in to their account. And this is where I sent some information out, because if you've had customers before, or even yourself, if under the old system you shopped online and you had an account, chances are, now yesterday they were saying for sure, but for me this didn't happen, so I was confused. They are saying that when you go to sign in for the very first time, your password will not automatically come up. If, when you go to, let me sign out here and let's sign back in. What Stampin' Up said, when you go to sign in, if you've already had an account, your information is in there, but your password won't automatically show up if that's how you have it set up, but mine did. So I don't know if that's based on different computers or whatever, but we're going to assume if you ever have a customer that says, I've already set up an online account, I can't get into it, I don't know my password, it always saved it for me, they're going to have to do the password reset, because Stampin' Up is saying those passwords didn't migrate over. So, but then tell them, when you do that and you click on the forgot password, and you guys have probably all done this on different websites, they will get an email, and it should be pretty instant that they get that email. Chances are really high it's going to go into their spam. So if they tell you, I did the forgot password, but I never got an email, tell them to check their spam, because chances are that's where it is. Okay. And that should only be the first time they sign in to here. So now we can sign in and they're off and running to shop with you. It's connected to you. We're good to go. And again, this is just those of you with that DBWS. Because if you don't have DBWS, this isn't going to happen. Now, let's go back here to the shopping bag.
Looks like there's a couple of people who have unmuted themselves. Can anyone just check?
Oh.
Make sure we aren't getting any additional feedback, please. And then some people are writing in that their passwords were saved. So
yeah, so I'm kind of thinking it has to do with our computers. Like Stampin' Up's not saving the password, but if your computer saves the password, it looks like it's there. So I don't know. So I was pleasantly surprised about that. So, okay. So now when you go to checkout, and this, whether you're a DBWS or not, this is the same at this point right here, what I want to show you. Over here on the order summary, you've got coupon code and you've got host code. So right now during August, if you've got coupons, you click the little plus sign, you can enter any of those codes and click apply. And it'll take $5 off the subtotal. Keep in mind that, let's say, if your subtotal, and let's just for kicks here. So at this point, I have a subtotal of $214. Oh, that's gonna be a hard number to do. Let's, okay, I have a subtotal of $158 right now. If I put in 2 coupon codes, that's $10 that comes off the subtotal, which brings me down to 148. So at that point, there's not Stampin' Rewards anymore. Okay, this has tripped up a few people already today with these codes, because they think, okay, $150 order, I mean, it's Stampin' Rewards. They put the coupon codes in and they don't have the rewards. So rewards are based on subtotal, okay? The other thing, if you are using a host code or your customer is using a host code, again, real simple, click on the plus sign, enter the code and put apply. And we'll talk a little more about host code in a second. So on this particular order, since this last item I added pushed me over that 158, I now have Stampin' Rewards. So when I'm here in my shopping cart, you will see this box that popped up and it says you haven't added any free items yet. You got Stampin' Rewards. And it's really cool because it says this order qualifies for $15.80 in rewards, and you still have $15.80 remaining. So kind of a lot like our demonstrator website. So what will happen so now as a customer, I think, oh, I have $15. So I can go back to shopping, or we can just go down here. Let's say we're gonna add some Stampin' Seal. So if I click on Stampin' Seal, look at this fun little pop-up, Stampin' Rewards. Oh, it didn't last. But here I can claim my rewards. So if I click on that, it adds it to the cart. And when we come back to the cart, oh, it's saying I still have $3.80. But now you can see how it splits it nice and neat here. We have this is what I'm paying for. This is my rewards. So this part from the customer perspective is so much more intuitive and nice for them. So, and then they can continue on through the checkout process. Questions?
Nope, nothing new.
Okay. I'm going to stop screen share for a second here because I want to change my screens. So I want to just put you aside here. I want to find a different screen to share with you guys. Let's see here. So let's talk host code for a second, because I know there's been some confusion about host code here. So let's get you back on a screen. Okay, so a host code is the easiest way to think of a host code is it's a way to combine multiple orders, to combine them together to get the Stampin' Rewards off the combined total of those orders. So let's say we have 3 people that are going to place an order. They're going to place it online. So Sarah's going to place an order online, ship it to herself. Jamie's going to place an order, ship it to herself. Jody's going to place an order, ship it to herself. 3 separate orders. If they use the host code, it connects those, and now we have a $150 order for Stampin' Rewards. That's the purpose of a host code. Now, some demonstrators will use a host code simply for themselves. Let's say today you want to place a $50 order, but you know within the next 30 days you're going to have another $100 order. So rather than placing a $50 order today, and then in 2 weeks placing a $100 order, you didn't get any rewards at all on that, you could use a host code and combine those two. So that's another reason to use a host code for those of you that are hobby demonstrators. The catch-22 is whenever you use a host code, the only way to place an order and use that host code is over there at stampinup.com, what we were just working in. So if you're going to go through that process, you essentially treat yourself like a customer. So your customer Jackie places a $50 order. 2 weeks later, customer Jackie places a $100 order. Now, demonstrator Jackie can come into the demonstrator site and close it and get the benefits. Okay, so that's just another way that's used. Another way, again, if you have 2 friends that are going to order from you and they want it shipped to themselves, if you set up a host code, Susie can order, Mary can order. Now you can close it from your end and you can even order and get rewards off of it. So that's kind of some of the reasons you would use a host code. Now, if you just have a friend that's your neighbor, lives next door to you, and she says, hey, Jamie, will you place an order for me? You can go in here and you can just do a customer order. So really the only time you really want to think in terms of a host code is multiple people ordering, shipping to multiple locations, because each person, as they order, it gets shipped to them. Okay, I know there's going to be questions.
Do the orders ship right away, or do they hold on to them till the host code is closed?
Nope, they ship right away. So if Jamie goes and places an order today, it ships today or tomorrow or whenever to her. And now that $50 order is kind of sitting there in limbo, but there's like that $50, it's credited towards it.
Do each of those people pay the $6.95 ship or minimum?
Yes, they do. So think of it, again, it's like each order is its own order over here at stampinup.com. So if the order is under 70, they're going to pay more shipping than if once it hits 70, that's kind of your break-even point on shipping.
And then how do you set up your own host code and give to others for shopping if you aren't shopping as a customer?
Okay, so to set up a host code, you're going to come in here to ordering. We're going to start a workshop order. Okay, you guys all know how to order. We've got workshop, demonstrator, customer, order. We're going to do workshop order. I'm going to make myself the hostess. So we'll search me. We'll find a bazillion ball houses. Okay, I'm still on this page and I'm going to click this handy dandy little button that says get host code. There's my code. Copy it, put it someplace, write it down, whatever you want to do with it. And we're going to continue just like I was going to work on this order. We'll save it. And at this point, I'm going to just save and exit. So now if I take, you know what, we're going to copy this. Hold on here. Where's my host code? Back to order information. I'm going to copy this because we're going to show you this. So at this point, I would give Jamie my hostess code and I'd say, Jamie, go place your order. She's going to go to stampinup.com. She's going to sign in, or this could even be me. We'll say, I'm going to place my own order now because I'm placing my $50 order because I'm going to do 100 later. So we're going to come in here and we're going to go to my shopping cart because we already have all kinds of stuff here. And let's get rid of some of this. Let's see. Get my cart down to a lower amount here. Okay, there's my order. I'm gonna order these $79 worth of stuff. I'm gonna come down here to host code. I'm gonna put in that code, click apply, and doesn't say. It used to say who that code belonged to. It doesn't say that, but you can see it does say host code. We're good to go. I would check out just like normal. From me as a customer, there's nothing different here. Here is catch 22. This is where I'm going to lose someone, I know it. When I use a host code, because remember this order now, it's connecting back over here, right, to this workshop order. If I was to order Okay, my order is now $214. Because I have a host code here, guess what? No Stampin' Rewards. Because all the Stampin' Rewards, because there's a host code, all these Stampin' Rewards are shooting over to that workshop order that I have to close from the demonstrator side of the website here. So that's why I always tell my customers, if your order is 150, don't use the host code, because I want my customers to get that credit. Make sense? So now let's come back over here. We've saved this. And okay, my 3 friends have placed their order. I'm ready to close out that hostess code order. All I need to do is come back into ordering, to modify existing order. Here are all the hostess codes I've got open at the moment. So here, this ZFM one is the one we just created. All I have to do is click over here on order number, and it's going to pop up. Now, there's no amounts here because we don't have any real orders that were placed. But if that host code would have been used several times, you would see that stuff over here, and over in your order totals over here, it would tell you you've got $23 of Stampin' Rewards or whatever you've accumulated from those other orders. And then you, as the hostess, you're technically also a customer. If there's stuff you want to add, because again, you had 3 friends from other states that all ordered, they ordered it shipped to them. Now you're going to close it, so you're getting credit for the combined total of those 3 orders. You can add your own stuff on here as well, and anything you add will get into that total too, and you claim your Stampin' Rewards, and you close it up, and you're good to go. So that's host code in a nutshell.
There's no more questions at this time. Oh, just kidding. Jody, get off the beach.
Oh, Jamie, you're muted. I don't hear you.
Dang it.
There.
Okay, on the demonstrator website, you can go to business resources, then manage my DBWS. On the top right corner, you'll see an orange button that says link generator. You can generate links with your demo ID, link with a host code, link with a specific product, etc.
Correct. So we're going to do a quick little away from ordering, a little bit, and this is going to be a 3-minute tour of DBWS to just show you some of the powers of DBWS. So when you have that website, you know, we went through, and you know, you can have that specialized link, that question mark demo ID equals whatever. We're going to go into the back end of the DBWS. So I'm on the demonstrator website at this point. And so this is a screen you guys have, a lot of you have probably not seen. But again, this is where I can do things with my DBWS. One of the things you can do is what's called a link generator. So if I click on this, and there's several things here, we're going to go with just the link with the demonstrator ID. So Jody, and I think this is how I checked things this morning. So if I put in my demonstrator ID here, it will generate a link. Here, it just made that link for me, which I shared earlier, that says demo ID, the question mark demo ID. So if you forget how to make that link to go right to your store, you can do it in this link generator. But the cooler part over here is we can do what's called a link with a product. So I'm gonna put in my ID number. And this is for those of you that have worked like with TAMs before. This is one way you can do some other things with this. So demonstrator ID is 1940. And I'm going to search for, let's do the boho chic product medley. Yep, I guess we gotta hit that. Oh. And it's coming up here, the reef, you know, all the different options. We don't want French, we want this one. So we're gonna click on it. Check out this link now. What this link is, it's a link to that product connected to me. So I have a friend that says, hey, I want to order the boho medley, blah, blah, blah. And say, cool, here's the link to go order it. Because if I copy this and I go to a brand new screen and I put that link in, it's going to take me not only to my store, we're shopping with Jackie Ballheis, but look at that, there's that item. And I can say, add to cart. So over, oh my gosh, I got so many things open here. So you can make, they call it customized links. That's what this link generator for is. Now, the other, and in my mind, the jury is still out on this option. You can do a customized link. Oh, let's see, can I find my host code? Or did I get rid of it? Oh, there it is. So let's say I set up this host code because I've got my 3 friends that want to use the host code. Oh goodness. If I click on this link with host code, I can put in that host code. This is that one I just made and get a link. And now this link, yeah, I'll copy it that way. When I copy that link and I put it up in a new window, it's going to not only take me to my store, but it's going to automatically put the host code in there. I'm assuming, Jody, you're the one that asked about this. My concern with this is using a link with the host code. I tell my customers, if they order 150 or more, to not use the host code. So if I say, here, use this link to go shop, and they're over here shopping and they have a $284 order, that host code automatically got put there because they use the link with the host code. Now, granted, they can remove it, and as soon as we remove it, bam, I'm getting Stampin' Rewards. So I think there's kind of a danger there for people that are going to place bigger orders. They need to know to remove it. So I don't know. I'm not sure I'm going to use it yet. Okay, questions. That probably generated some. You're muted, James.
Do you still get your 20%?
Yes. So when somebody shops at Stampin'Up.com and selects you or goes to you because you have a DBWS, you still get your 20 or 25%. The thing is, it will come to you. Stampin' Up! Pays twice a month. I think it's twice a month. So it comes to you as a deposit when they pay out those commissions twice a month. Because since you're not placing the order and keeping the 20% up front, full price is paid and then you get your 20% later.
If the demonstrator claims the rewards, then is the host code terminated? Is there a time limit before the code expires?
So when you create that code, it's going to be good for 30 days. One of these windows I have open, there we go. So if we go back to, oh, I gotta close some of these. We go back here, we can see we created this code on August 4th. To the best of my knowledge, 30 days from August 4th, poof, it's gone. So you don't claim the rewards until you physically close this workshop order. So once everybody's ordered from the other side, stampitup.com, you need to come here and close it out just like we're used to closing out orders. And when you close it is when you claim those Stampin' Rewards, and then it's done. So if you don't do that within 30 days, you're going to lose those rewards from those orders.
And then Jody says that she doesn't think the demo ID one was there earlier today, or she missed it.
I know, it was so much.
But could we use the host code link for the graphic with the host code?
Host code link for the graphic. Jody, is that your question? Unmute and, oh.
No,
okay.
it wasn't.
Whoever,
It was Heidi, who also said she thought that the ID one was mislabeled earlier today.
okay. So I think what Heidi's probably referring to in an indirect way, there's this other really cool thing about DBWS. Jody, have you used the part where you add stuff to your cart yet? Nope, she's like.
I guess I'm not sure what you're talking about,
Okay.
so probably not.
So let's, here, I gotta clean some of these windows up here. We don't need that one anymore. Okay, so we're back into the screen where we're managing our DBWS. We went into here from, we're on the demonstrator website. This is actually really cool, and I will do a whole nother Zoom sometime with people if they want to learn more about this, but I'll just show you really quick. Under business, there is what's called resource library. In the resource library, there's several different things. What we're gonna look at is called My Files. So please wait. Okay, so under My Files, you can create supply lists. Now I think you can do some other things here, but this is how I'm using it. So this is an upcoming post that I have. So I created my graphic, and then I think if we go into edit, I can show you. So when I created my graphic, I titled it. I brought in that picture, okay, the graphic I created. I can put a little description here. And then you have several options. We can just link this to my store. We can, I don't know what the other ones are without showing you, because all I'm using is the add to cart. Then I was able, this is what's going to replace TAMs for those of you that use TAMs. I was able to list all the items I used on my card. So here's everything I used. And after I did that, let's see, it shows up here under my files. And what it looks like, I think as I preview it here, you get this screen that shows the picture that I put along with the whole list of everything. Oh, this doesn't show exactly. But from here, and some of this was kind of cumbersome to figure it out. I can share this to Facebook. I can share it to Pinterest. I can share it in different places. I have not explored any of that, but what I've done is just copied this link. So we're going to copy it. And now on my blog post, I'm putting this picture. It says, click here for a complete list of supplies. On that blog post, when a person clicks on that, and I've put that link in there, look at what they get. They're at my store. You see my name here. Here's my picture and what I wrote. Here are all the supplies I used. So as a customer, they can click on add all to cart. Or they can go through and they can say, I don't want those. I don't need any of the blends, but I do want the stamp set. I want the 6x6 paper. I don't need those. Oh, I need that. And I can do whatever I want there, and then add to cart. And once I click on add to cart, there's my shopping cart with all that stuff I just added. So, I mean, this is great. Like if you're doing a pre-buy class, you know, I know some of you guys do a pre-buy class and you say, okay, before class, buy XYZ products. You could create one of these links for them, give them the link, it adds it all to the cart for them. So this is a feature that was part of DBWS when it rolled out quite a while ago, and I really didn't explore it much. But I'm kind of super excited about it. It makes my blog posts look nicer. I don't have to use TAMs. It's driving people from your blog to your store and makes it really easy for them to shop. So that's just one of many things that's part of DBWS.
Okay. Jody is very excited.
Yay!
She has not done that before, so she's thrilled.
Jody, if you need more help or want to just do a private Zoom and go through it, let me know.
As a hobby demonstrator, would it be easier to go in as a customer to place an order using myself as the demonstrator? Or would it be better to go in and place an order on the demonstrator page? Just wondering, since I can search for a product online easier than finding it in the catalog.
So I'm going to interpret that question that you're just ordering for yourself and you're asking, you know, do I go over here to the customer side or do I go over here to the demonstrator side? Personally, I would do it through the demonstrator side because it's going to take your 20% off right away. You're going to pay less. Now I think I know what you're saying, that this site's so much nicer to search and look. And I mean, by all means, you certainly can do it here. You can act like a customer over here. Make sure that you select yourself as a demonstrator, unless you want to select me and give me the order. But and you can do that. Just, you know, keep in mind you're gonna pay full price, but you'll get that 20 or 25% back later. Because over here, like if you are doing an order, let's just start a demonstrator order.
Jody just gave a good tip about looking on the demonstrator website and using a magnifying glass under this magnifying glass under spot where you need to put the item number in.
Right here. So I think this is what Jody's referring to too. So I'm now in a demonstrator order. There is the magnifying glass, so I can look up something here. You know, I know I want to order the boho chic. No, and it didn't come up. But so there is the search function, but I agree the search function is not very good. I mean, I generally order from my catalog when I'm ordering my own stuff here. So I guess I never thought of it from that perspective. Yeah, I mean, you absolutely, if you don't mind paying full price and getting your money back. The other option, you could come over here and you could shop. Because I mean, this site's really super cool. The way it's laid out, and like bundled savings, it will pull up like all the bundles, and it's a really fun site to go through. You could essentially shop this way, find everything you want, put it in the shopping cart, and you know, so let's say here's everything we want. You could, now like on my computer, I can have two different windows open. I could have this open and I could come back over here. You know, I could essentially say, okay, I know what I want. You know, I want that number 152460, 152460, you know, and still come over here and shop. You know, so you can use this really for the, you know, the shopping experience, to see everything and find everything and figure out what you want. but then come over here and physically do your order over here, because then that 20% comes off right away. So just a thought. Hopefully that answered, I interpreted that question right. Anything else?
Not that's come in.
Okay, so just kind of real briefly, I guess, today, August 4th, I didn't really plan to have this meeting today when all this stuff launched. I picked the date before I had all these dates, but a lot happening between the store going live and those coupon codes. Remember, you have to August 31st to use all those coupon codes. You can put in as many coupon codes as you want on an order. There's no limit. The cut and emboss machine, we can, as demonstrators, we can order it. It's just the regular size, not the mini. There's information in the updates on that. If you have friends, customers that really want their hot little hands on that machine, you can add it to a starter kit. So I've actually had a couple people sign up to be a demonstrator today because they wanted the machine. The machine's $120. Throw on a pack of dimensionals. We're at 124, about as close as you can get to 125. And you're good to go. So is that Sage?
Yeah.
We need to see Sage because someone else on here has a weenie dog. She was showing us a weenie dog earlier. So there's my little grand weenie dog. So, all righty, guys. Lots of information, lots of good stuff. I hope that was helpful to you. You learned some things. Like I said, even those of you that are hobby demonstrators, I think there's good uses of that website. Oh, now we got all kinds of dogs showing up. So we'll hang out here for just I'm going to actually stop our recording because that's about all we need to record.